I would like to know what the hell every GM, scout, and analyst was smoking when they looked into the 2017 draft class. Because that must have been some good stuff. Like the Beatles writing Yellow Submarine good. Only 2 of the top 5 players in this draft even went in the lottery. And the second best player in this draft went 30th, and the 4th best player went freaking 60th. To be fair, the lottery did contain many NBA legends like Derek Williams, he's a future Hall of Famer for sure, or Jimmer Fredette, the star player on any team that's not in the NBA. The analysts got this draft so wrong it's not even funny. Well, it's a little funny. I can't say I'm mad about it, since I'm a Bulls fan and we lucked into Jimmy Butler. But let's be Captain Hindsight from South Park here for a bit and redraft the 2011 class, knowing what we know now. And as a disclaimer, some players get picked above others because they fit better into the team system they are drafted to, not because they are better necessarily. Okay, so with the first pick in the 2011 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Kawhi Leonard to replace their recently departed LeBron James. Kawhi originally went 15th to the Pacers. You could argue that the Spurs system made Kawhi into the star that he is now, but you can't say for sure that he wouldn't be a star in Cleveland. With the second pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Klay Thompson. I do think Jimmy Butler is better than Klay, but I think Klay would fit better on the Timberwolves system than Butler would. Kevin Love was still a superstar at that time, and they believed Ricky Rubio could be their ball handler and playmaker for the future. So an off-ball player would fit their team better than Jimmy Butler, who is ball dominant. With the third pick, the Jazz select Jimmy Butler. With Devin Harris, Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, and Al Jefferson, all their lineup really needed was a shooting guard. And with Jimmy Butler and Gordon Hayward, the Jazz now have a very bright future. With the fourth pick, and this might spark some controversy, the Cavs select Isaiah Thomas over Kyrie Irving. I just think Isaiah is a bit better than Kyrie. Not by much, either way, I don't think the Cavs could go wrong with either pick. With the fifth pick, the Toronto Raptors select Kyrie Irving. Watching Kyrie and DeMar DeRozan make defenders tear their hair out should be fun. With the sixth pick, here's another example of picking a player that fits the system, not necessarily the better player. The Wizards take Nikola Vucevic to be a pick and roll and pick and pop / post player to play off of John Wall. The rest of the available players are either point guards or not as good. So John Wall gets a pick and roll partner with Nikola Vucevic. With the seventh pick, the Kings select Kemba Walker. Just a friendly reminder that the Kings took Bismack Biyombo over Kemba Walker. The Walker-Boogie duo would definitely be a thing of magic. Too bad this didn't happen in real life. With the eighth pick, the Detroit Pistons get Reggie Jackson a couple seasons earlier than they did initially. With the ninth pick, the Hornets take Jonas Valanciunas because at that point they were going for the best player available. Milwaukee with the 10th pick gets Brandon Knight. And they don't trade him like they did with Fredette because the Kings already drafted a point guard with Kemba and they're not interested in trading for another one. With the 11th pick, the Warriors select Tobias Harris to bring some scoring considering they were moving Monte Ellis and they needed some scoring there. Hell of a downgrade from Klay Thompson, I know. With the 12th pick, Utah takes Tristan Thompson to be a rebounder off of the bench. Phoenix with the 13th pick select Chandler Parsons, who was actually a second round pick to be a scorer and shooter to play with Steve Nash. And with the 14th pick, the Rockets take Kenneth Faried to replace Old Man Scola. This is probably the most poorly scouted draft class ever. With these changes, you have to wonder, does LeBron James join Cleveland in 2014 with Kawhi and Isaiah Thomas instead of Kyrie and Kevin Love? That seems like a clear yes, but remember he lost in the 2014 finals because of Kawhi on the Spurs. Obviously Kawhi being on the Cavs changes that. Kyle Lowry also wouldn't end up in Toronto with Kyrie in Toronto. The Warriors never become a super team without Klay Thompson. The Wolves probably don't trade Kevin Love now that they have a great second option in Klay. And the Jazz could potentially be a top team in the West, with both the Warriors and Spurs getting significantly worse with this redraft. And with Gordon Hayward developing into a top 25 player and Butler into a top 10 player, the Jazz would be legitimate contenders within a few seasons. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more NBA content like this, and cue the outro music.